whatever. So I guess I'm going to start recording, and I'm going to say that again. So grab a paper and a pencil, but you have a little bit of time because I'm going to start off by sharing a little bit more about my story, but I have to pull up my, okay. So basically, for those of you who don't really know my story or what has projected me into being healthier, I have 5 kids, but I didn't used to have any children, and it's usually how it starts. And my back would hurt a ton all the time. I had no idea. So I went to massage school. I changed my major. I did everything I could because I thought that I needed to learn how to be healthy. And I felt like I had to pay lots and lots and lots of money at a university to learn how to be healthy. So I started doing that, met my husband, didn't finish school, learned a little bit about how to give massages and how to, follow the general surgeon's daily recommendation guidelines. I didn't really learn anything, is really what I'm saying. So I embarked on my journey towards I tried to go to the gym, and then you know how that goes. I would go to the gym and then I'd work out. I'd work out so hard and I'd be so sore I couldn't walk for 5 days. And then I wouldn't go back to the gym for like months. And all the while my back was hurting. So my back started hurting probably around 17 years old. We took MRIs and I went to an orthopedic surgeon. I tried to figure out how to make it feel better. Went to physical therapy, the works, and nothing really seemed to work. So I started to take matters into my own hands, but I didn't know what to do. And so I kind of started from scratch. Fast forward, I decided to get married. We started our family a lot sooner than anticipated, and living with chronic back pain and trying to raise a family wasn't ideal. So I started to follow a friend of mine who was having children around the same time I was, and she looked amazing after having had babies. And I used to think that I couldn't really work out too hard because then I would hurt my back worse. I would always flare it up. And all I knew is that when I was swimming, it wasn't hurting. But in Provo, Utah, there's like 1 swimming pool. Now there's 2. And that was like impossible. And so I would follow my friend, Lori, and she looked amazing. She was having kids back to back like I was. And after her second, she just got her body back super fast. And I messaged her and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I want to look good. Like, I feel frumpy. I feel terrible. And what are you doing? And she told me about Lindsey Brin and Moms Into Fitness. And if you go to momsintofitness.com, you know a little bit about what that is. It's all dedicated to moms trying to get pregnant, trying to get healthy. And from there, I started working out, and it was perfect because there were 10-minute modules, little 10-minute segments to each workout, and you could bunch them together. You could do 30-minute workouts. You could do 10 minutes. That's all you could get in was 5 or 10 minutes. That was good, or you could do it. And so I started to lose weight after my second, and then I started to connect with people who ate healthy, and I just kind of took matters into my own hands and started to learn how to be healthy. I was like, if I can't get rid of my back pain through conventional medicine, doctors and whatnot, I'm just going to go all these alternative routes. So that's where we started to become healthy. And in the middle of that, I lost about 22 pounds just working out every few days. Like, I made sure never to take 2 days off of working out. I didn't put myself to a regimen as strictly as much as I was just trying to get 3 to 5 workouts in a week. I didn't care how they looked. I was just trying to get in the habit of getting my workouts in and trying to eat salads more than once a month. So from there, I was introduced to a group from Moms Into Fitness. We all went into a group together, and we were all trying to just motivate each other as moms to just figure out how to be healthy. And then I started to follow more regimented workout plans, follow the schedule and all of that. And I would reward myself. I started with a $10 program. If I followed through with that according to the schedule, then I would reward myself with something a little bit more expensive and a little bit more committed, like a set program. And then I got pregnant, and I was like, no. I mean, I was excited. Of course you're excited when you get pregnant. But I was really excited because I was getting in shape and my back was not hurting as much, and I felt like I was finally taking matters into my own hands. So into that pregnancy, I decided to kind of keep working out. I didn't work out a whole bunch, but I at least worked out twice a week. I felt like that was a big deal for considering my oldest was 2 and I had a baby and I was pregnant. And then I, about 6 months into my pregnancy, 5-6 months, we decided to go completely plant-based. Had to do with more of our children, and just, that's a whole nother story. And then I lost all my swelling. I didn't lose weight necessarily, but I lost all my swelling. And I was like, hey, maybe there's something to eating plants. All right, I'll start to eat more plants. And then my back pain that I was having in pregnancy kind of subsided a little bit. And I was kind of a little bit more sold on the whole idea of being healthy. So about 7 months into my pregnancy, 7 months, my friend, my coach now, she said, hey, because I was still in that group, of moms in a fitness group. And she's like, hey, you're helping a lot of people and motivating a lot of people. You're staying healthy to your pregnancy. Have you heard of Beachbody coaching? And I was like, I don't know what that is. What is Beachbody? I don't know. She's like, have you heard of P90X? I'm like, yes. And I've never tried it. And she's like, yeah, so basically it's like a representative thing, multi-level marketing. And she never said multi-level marketing. I didn't even know that's what it was. I didn't even know what multi-level marketing was. And so I looked at the video and I signed up because I just cared about the fact that all these people that had these awesome stories were sharing their stories with other people like I was doing. And that's why I decided to become a Beachbody coach. However, that never changed my journey. It never changed what I was doing about, trying to get myself in shape, trying to get my family healthy. So fast forward to today, I've been through ups and downs and had to develop my story a little bit more since becoming a coach and understanding more about what healthy is all about. I meet a lot of Beachbody coaches with what I do. And one thing that I've realized is that I'm not really like most of them, in the sense that I feel like the journey is a little bit more beyond just the products. It has to be on the inside. And a lot of really successful coaches feel that way too. I think that's why I like them. But really what I'm starting to dive into is more personal development, how to become a leader, not just as a Beachbody coach or as an MLM representative, but as a mom, as a wife, as a person, as a Christian, as whoever I want to be at that moment in that day. So one way to develop your story to become an effective leader, which is what we're going to talk about today, is to understand where you've been and understand why you're on this journey and understand why you're still on this journey. So we all have a why, as in, why did we start being healthy? Why did I start being healthy? Because I was in pain and I wanted to keep up with my kids. Why am I still healthy? Now that I'm not in pain anymore, I have to come up with more. Like, why do I want to keep going on this journey? Because I've already kind of figured it out, but now I want to be better. So last week with my team, I did this workshop, and I wanted to do this with you guys because it inspired me so much for this last week. I can't stop thinking about it. So I feel like this is kind of the best thing to apply to everything in your life. This is more has to do with like Beachbody and how these products and programs have helped you in your life, but you can change out the verbiage to apply to whatever it is that you want. So right here where it says developing leaders on your own team is what's going to grow your business and make you most successful. You can change that to developing leaders in your own family, your kids, your husband, whoever it is that you have influence over. The most successful coaches or moms or husbands or, whoever are those who have inspired others. You hear people talk about their moms a lot, and they talk about, or their most influential leaders. These people have, in a sense, sold a particular way of life. Don't think of sneaky salesmen when you think of salesmen. No matter what your profession, you're selling something. Either you're selling it to yourself or you're selling it to people around you. So think of selling in that way, that you're making it look appealing. As a massage therapist, we were selling relaxation. We were selling it, and we were trying to encourage people to want to feel good. And we were talking about how amazing it made us feel. And so to be an effective salesperson or to inspire others, we have to sell the why and not the what. We need to tell our story about why we like our products or what we are doing. People want to hear why you're passionate about the products, your lifestyle, etc. We all see on social media how people are selling products, Unique and Usborne and, all these different things. We're getting added to all these groups. And I'm not going to lie, when I get added to a group And, or people like take a picture and they're like, this is so awesome. I mean, I've been guilty of doing that before. Don't get me wrong. I didn't know how to communicate why it was so awesome. The scroll stoppers for me are when somebody talks about their story, not just posts a picture and says, look at me, I'm so awesome, but instead tells you a little bit more about themselves. Those are the people that inspire. So that's what we're going to talk about, is what your story is and how to share that. So first of all, you need to understand your value. You need to understand that you are worth it, that you are worth so much to your family, to your spouse, to your kids, to your coworkers. You are worth something and you have something to offer. We need to understand who we are and why we are coaching, or why we are doing whatever it is we're doing. What is your value? What motivates you? So here's your paper and pencil. First, make a list of the things that motivate you. We're going to take 1 minute. I'm going to set my timer. And we're going to take 1 minute to talk about what keeps you, what turns you on. I know some of you are list makers. Some of you are really motivated by people and by being in contact with others. Some of you are motivated by organization. Some people are motivated by chaos. That's not me. But you take a minute, and I don't know where my timer is. Oh, that's right. I put it in a folder. And figure out, write a list, as many things as you can think of that turn you on. I like change. I like new things. New things motivate me. So like if I get a planner, I'll write it. It motivates me to be organized. That's it. Some other ideas. It could be spending time with your family. It could be drama. Drama motivates people. So many different things. Financial independence motivates me. So in a way, I guess you could say I'm motivated by money, but not in a bad way. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a matter of opinion. All right, here we go. All right. So that's been about a minute. You can keep adding to this list if you think of things. So next, I want you to make a list of things that turn you off. What demotivates you? What overwhelms you? And we're going to take another minute. Ugh, lack of control. That one gets me. Uncertainty, a messy house. I didn't actually prepare very well for this call because I was cleaning my house all day and getting rid of toys. And then I felt good. So I had to clean. So then I was motivated. I think understanding what turns you off is super important, because then you know what triggers your anxiety, or whatever it is, that depression, or whatever it is that you struggle with. And maybe you don't know why you struggle with it. And then all of a sudden you can understand that that's why. Because my house is a mess. So I feel like I can't breathe. All right. Okay. We are done with our minute. Okay. So now I'm going to keep this list, and you can keep adding to it. So in order to be an typo. Sorry, guys. In order to be an effective leader, you need to be able to inspire others so they will want to follow in your footsteps. I used to struggle with that concept because I didn't think that I was inspiring, or that anybody would really want to follow in my footsteps. I felt like I was behind the curve. I felt like everybody already knew this stuff that I was learning. So there was nothing that I could offer anybody else. What I didn't realize is that I was surrounding myself with a bunch of people on the same journey. And most of my other friends that don't show up in my newsfeed aren't on this journey, because I'm not liking any of their posts. So they're not continually showing up in my newsfeed, or I don't run into them very often outside because they don't do the same things that I do. So understand what you are selling and understand yourself so you can do it effectively. So understanding that maybe the people that you're around right now already get it. They already are sold on a healthy lifestyle, or whatever it is that you're selling, quote unquote. But you understand also that there are people all around you that you're not noticing because you're not really clued into different things. And as you start to understand what's motivating you, what demotivates you, and you start to understand who you are, you start to see other people, because now you're not looking at yourself and what you're so focused on. You're looking at, who can I bless today? Who can I help today? And it may not even be with health and fitness. What I've noticed is I've come to this realization on what motivates me and what demotivates me, or what drives me. It becomes a foundational thought. Like, I don't have to think about it as much anymore. Instead, I am out of that. I'm not concerned about it. I am this way. I am healthy. I am making my best effort. So I don't have to think about it or feel guilty because I missed my workout today, but I cleaned my entire house and I lost a pound doing it. So we're good. We're good there. But the point is that you've got these thoughts all taken care of. You're confident in yourself. And so then you think outside of yourself. You have more time to think about other people and think about, I haven't heard from so-and-so in a really long time. I wonder how they're doing. And you're not doing this in a way to like, I'm going to shove a healthy lifestyle down their throat. No way. You're not even thinking about that. You're thinking about that person and how you can reach out to them. And I wonder if they need help with their kids, or I wonder if they need a meal. I had a friend just kind of fell off the Facebook planet. And she posts all the time. She's super inspirational and motivational. And for her not to be sharing a portion of her life means that something serious is going on. Had I not been paying attention to this person, I wouldn't have thought to reach out and text her and say, hey, I was thinking about you. Prayers are coming your way. You seem to be struggling, whatever. And then lo and behold, they are going through something really serious. And had I been thinking so much about myself and, oh my goodness, I need to post on Facebook and I need to like check my newsfeed and see how other people are doing. What's the gossip? What's the drama? If I had been so inward about that, like I wouldn't have been able to do that. So the point is that as you develop yourself, you can be a better, more productive member of society. So there are 3 parts to telling your story. So the personal part, the more personal, the more universal it is. When you can share a personal story, more people are going to want to know more about you. So telling the more vulnerable parts of your story and making it about owning it, it's about you and making it personal. The more details and the more descriptive you get, the more people can relate. So if you just put a generic comment of like, life is hard, it sucks, I'm moving on, like no one really wants to stop and read that or like it, or, it's kind of dramatic and negative. But when you talk about how it's affecting you, or how you're growing from it, or what your innermost thoughts are maybe, or how you wouldn't have been able to go through this difficult time had you not found something that helped you cope with it or deal with it. The more personal you get, the more people want to hear it. Physicality, you need to know it so well. Oh, ingrained. Golly, guys, I copied this off of somebody else's, and I'm going to have to tell her that I'm going to have to give it back to her with all the corrected typos. And ingrained in you that your entire body shares your story. So when somebody's telling you a story, if they're reciting it or if it's like who they are, that and you can see it. Just people get really animated, or they don't have to think about what they're saying. It just is who they are. You ask them, for instance, how did you meet? If you're talking to a couple, well, how did you meet? And they get like way into it, and then they start talking about it, and they get way passionate, and then they like cut each other off. No, you're getting it all wrong. Like their whole bodies are telling this story, and you can see it. You can see them like light up about it, and you can see them get really excited about their story, how they met, and how, like now that I own how many kids we have, instead of like chalking it up to like, it just kind of happened. And now I'm like, I love it. This is my life. I get way into it. I'm really confident. And I love my life more because I'm more open about how I really feel about it, instead of being so concerned about what other people think of me. So generosity. So you guys have already read this probably because I keep yapping, but don't be ashamed and don't hold back. Like, don't be afraid of who you're telling your story to. Now, this is tough at first. It's tough for me still. Before this phone call, I was like, I don't want to fumble over my words, and I don't want to sound all preachy, and I don't want to sound weird, but who cares? Like, this is who I am, and this is what I love. So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to love it. So that's it. And not think about what is so-and-so thinking about me. Sometimes that means I have to stop looking at their faces, and that kind of isn't really good in my line of work because I'm supposed to be looking at people. But when I'm telling my part of the story, I get distracted by the look on somebody's face because I'm like, wait, did I say that wrong? Did I offend them? You know, I just posted this thing on Facebook yesterday about the over anxious whatever mind thing. That's me. Okay, so how to write your story. So we take these lists and we're going to make another list now. So you list makers, you're going to love this. So we're going to write a list of 20 things Beachbody or a healthy life or whatever it is that you've decided to fill in the blank with has changed for you, no matter how big or small. Think about your life before Beachbody and how it is today. For example, my pain is gone. I'm a better mom. I'm more organized. Self-worth, confidence, self-esteem. Are there financial things? Were you able to make, if you're a Beachbody coach, were you able to make your business fee back? That's a big deal. A coach on my team, she was super excited. She paid her an $89 water bill. She was like posting it all over Facebook and like, I paid the water bill. I'm so excited. I remember once buying groceries because we have a house that we've rented out and the renters were late. And so, but we have the mortgage on that house scheduled to go out at a certain day. And so we had like $0. And we had enough to cover the mortgages, but not enough to cover groceries. And I bought groceries and I was so excited because it was a big grocery bill. So I got to buy groceries. For me, that was a big deal. But some of the bigger deals are just some of the more internal things, the personal development, who you become and how you're inspired to be better. Maybe your relationship with your spouse is better. Maybe you're feeling more creative. You don't have the same fog. So 20 things or more, how your life has changed. I haven't had to spend any of my husband's money on my workout programs because I buy them a lot. I've been able to overcome postpartum depression without medication, which is a big deal for me because I'm a hippie. I don't like to be medicated. My kids, I have my kids because I'm healthy. I wouldn't have them this close and they wouldn't be such an awesome part of my life. I think about our last baby and she wouldn't be here if I wasn't healthy. And she's so cool. I love her. She's ugly and she doesn't cry very often. And yeah, I like her. Hi, I see a baby. Oh, he doesn't look so little with his hair all chopped off though. I know you're sad about this. I feel the same way. Okay. I guess another one that I put is just that I was comfortable in my own skin. I wasn't looking at myself in the mirror so much. And I just started to love myself for the way that I was. And that was a big deal for me because I didn't love myself before. I was self-conscious and I thought, I actually came to the realization that everybody's thinking about themselves too. So nobody's thinking about me. So I don't have to worry about it so much anymore. Learning my personality. I learned what my personality style was, and that was a big deal because in my marriage, we learned that we're exact opposites. Exact. Like you do those personality quizzes and there's 4, I'm the 2 and he's the 2. And we're like exact opposites on those 2. So like we're opposite ends of the spectrum, which is awesome if you know that. So those types of things, anything, little, small, big, you get it. Okay. Let's move on. Do you guys kind of have 20-ish things? Ish. You can keep adding to your list. Okay, so hopefully this remembers why you became a coach, or see, another typo. Man, this is gonna bother me. I was homeschooled, and I do this every day with my kids, so typos bother me. Sorry, guys. So hopefully this helps you remember why you started this journey. So then write a list out in paragraph form. So it's really nice to actually write out your story in paragraph form and then read it back to yourself, or something about getting it out on paper. It just makes it feel so awesome. So write it out. I felt like this, now I feel like this. You can have a big story, but lots of little stories in between. How often are you talking about these stories on social media or in person? You don't have to be selling anything. You don't have to be a Beachbody coach or selling anything to tell your story, to get out there. We all are so polluted with the Facebook newsfeed being so negative. And I guess the reason I opened this up to more than just my own coaches was because that's what I wanted everybody to start getting, was that if we all were to post part of our stories, who we are and how we're better because of choices that we've made, if we were to start filling Facebook's news feeds with that kind of information, we could turn it all around, because that's what people really care about and really want to like and comment on. Don't dilute your story by comparing to someone else's story. Other people look more fit. They look better on social media. Remember, you're reading the newsfeed. You're reading the best part of people. So don't compare yourself to someone else, your weakness to someone else's strength. I know, and most of you know that I'm Mormon, and Dieter F. Uchtdorf talks about this in a talk, and I think it's labeled Forget Me Not. And if you go to LDS.org and you read that talk, there's this story in there about this lady who's looking through her window at a lady washing her, like hanging up her clothes to dry. And she's commenting to her husband, who's like, oh my goodness, her clothes does she not know how to wash her clothes? Like, they are so dingy and filthy. They're disgusting. Like, she doesn't know how to wash clothes. And every day she was doing this until one day she looked through the window. She's like, she finally got her clothes clean. And the husband's like, no, hun, I washed the window. So we're looking and comparing our weaknesses to other people's strengths all the time. I don't know if that's exactly what that story is supposed to relate to, but that's what I was thinking about. So I know that when we're looking through skewed vision, we're not seeing the whole picture. We're not actually seeing it the way that it is. So instead, look at yourself and look at how you're better and how you're better than you were before. I was going to school for kinesiology with an emphasis in health promotion and fitness. And part of that meant that I had to take a class that most PE teachers have to take as well. Actually, yes, if you want to be a school PE teacher, you have to take this class. And I decided to take it because it was about children's movement. And in this class, I was learning about a lot of the research and the studies that are being shown today on how to improve children's self-esteem and self-confidence through physical exercise. And they were taught in comparison to before, how you were always you remember this, I was always picked last for the basketball team, or I was always picked last for kickball, or I was always picked last for whatever. That's a lot of people have that story. I was always picked last. I was the last one. Well, they're trying to eliminate that because they realize that in grade school, especially, children develop at such different rates that you can't let them think that their self-worth is based upon if they were picked first or last for the kickball team. They have to be able to compare themselves to where they've been. And so now they're changing it, especially in the Austin, Texas area, they're changing it so that in PE, you're doing activities where you improve upon how you did it before. So whether they just do different activities, juggling, they learn how to juggle scarves, and at the beginning, no one can juggle a scarf, but by the end, everyone can juggle scarves. But you're not paying attention to if so-and-so got it first. You're paying attention to, man, I got it. I did it for 30 seconds this time, and last time I only did it for 10. And so if you apply that to us now and compare yourself to how you were yesterday, are you better today? That's going to be more inspiring, sharing that part, not sharing how you read so-and-so's thing and, oh, well, you're better than that. They're so behind. Everybody is at their own. You can't compare your middle to someone else's beginning or end. And own your story. If you have setbacks, like I committed to not eating Halloween candy all week long And that night I ate chocolate. Own it. That is who you are. I had a really emotionally taxing day. I know that's not really an excuse, but for me, it kind of is an excuse. So I ate the chocolate and I really didn't feel guilty about it. So I had to own it and I had to apologize because the person that I was doing it with, she's working really hard not to eat Halloween candy. And I had to tell her, I'm really sorry for falling short, but that's just, I'm not as passionate about it. I like my candy. I was just really trying to support you, but my life is hard. So I'm eating chocolate. So now from here on forward, make a list of 10 people you can share your story with. Any part of your story from the list of 20 things Beachbody or Getting Healthy has done for you. Think of new people that you can bless with your story. Think of people that maybe are negative. Maybe they are really sad because they haven't really progressed as far. And maybe you see a lot of their posts have to do with how hard life is. We all know life is hard. And so instead of saying, hey, you should stop posting things that are so hard, maybe message them privately and ask them what's really going on. Ask them if there's anything you can do to help, and maybe share your story and share how something you did helped you be more positive. And you have to kind of figure out if that's the kind of person that you can go to and maybe talk to like that. Not everybody is open to you just sharing your story, but I feel like if you do that instead of comment on there, it's like, oh yeah, and then tell your story and kind of do the one-up thing. Like, I remember when this happened to me. Instead of that, maybe turn it around. Share your story. Think about how you can help them. So if you are a coach and you're trying to build a team, do this exercise with your team. If you're not a coach, do this exercise with your family. Like, this is so awesome. I was sitting with my husband doing it, and he's not a coach. And it was a fun little workshop to do. Good challengers equal great coaches. So build confidence in your challengers. This is for my coaches, so they can see themselves as leaders too, whether through coaching or just inspiring others with their story and examples. So you really want to just share how you've improved and not think about all the coaches above you that make X amount of dollars, because that doesn't matter. You're going to reach people that only you can reach in your life. And you really just want to work with the people that connect with you, that resonate with you. I've helped so many people that are coaches under other people, and that doesn't stop me from helping anybody. I've helped a lot of people that don't care about Beachbody, don't care about Beachbody products. They don't care about Shakeology or any of that stuff. That doesn't stop me from helping people, because my journey didn't start with Beachbody, and it's not going to end with Beachbody. Beachbody has been a huge part of my journey. Huge. It's been the thing that's helped keep me consistent. And I'm going to share that part of my story. But I'm also going to share everything. I'm going to share how I've improved from the beginning and how I'm staying true to myself now. And so we're not trying to convince anyone to buy anything they don't want or need. And in order to do that, you have to share how you can relate to them, because I hate selling. It's like I hate selling. People message me all the time and they're like, hey, da, 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 da. And I know exactly what they're about to say in their message. And I've done it too. Don't get me wrong, because I thought I was supposed to. But I hated sending all those messages, and I hate when I get them, because, okay, great, you have this product. How can you help me be better? How can you inspire me to be better? So some resources that are awesome that I really think that y'all should plug into. These are just a few of the people that I've been listening to lately. There are a million personal development mentors, people. Just there's a bunch of people that you can plug into. There's podcasts, books. Start with Your Why. I think this came from this book, this workshop. Start with Why by Simon. I don't know if that's how you spell his last name. And then Bo Eason, or it could have been Bo Eason that did this workshop. Either way, Danny Johnson's a good one. She has a podcast, and she also has something you can plug into. Darren Hardy has something called Darren Daily. So 5 minutes every day, and you get a little plug for personal development, something that can just help you become a high achiever. So plug in and then develop yourself, and then share how you're growing. And that helps people feel good about themselves, because then they start to be inspired, rather than, hey, I'm selling this product. Look at me. I'm so awesome. Who cares about that? This is a tool, period. Who you are, that's who you're selling. You're selling yourself as a person, and why. And as you do that, you become more inspiring, and then people just want to be better, and you will naturally attract more successful people, people that want to be successful, people that say, hey, like I did to my friend in the very beginning of my journey. I saw her getting in shape and she is loving her family and loving her life. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? I want to do it too, because you're amazing and you're so positive. And how are you doing this? And I was struggling with postpartum depression. I was not positive and I hated my life. And so I saw somebody that was inspiring, and she's not a coach. She's not anything. She's just a mom and she just loves her life. And she just shared it, and she just is an inspiring person. So you want to be like that. So thanks for joining us. Do you guys have any questions? You guys can unmute yourselves if you have questions. Nope. Got it. Okay. It's kind of cut and dry. I mean, it is what it is. You write lists, you write your story, period. All right, guys, let me stop this and then stop the recording.